According to a study published in the Indian Journal of Medical Research, there is no evidence to claim that the bat coronaviruses recently found in two bat species in India can cause disease in humans. But this discovery has brought us to a point where we need to understand what it is in bats that makes them a carrier of so many viruses. Why is it that bats are in the news all the time? Let's see in today's video. A research by E. Brook from the University of California and team proves a strong relation between the bats carrying viruses and their ability to fly. Bats are the only mammals that are naturally capable of sustained flight. And flying is physiologically a very expensive process for any living being, which means that it takes a lot of energy to fly. Now let's go inside the body of a bat and see how it maintains this requirement of high energy. In order to meet the high energy which is required to fly, cells in the body of bats break down. And when this happens, a lot of waste is produced which damages the DNA of the cells. To the immune system of any mammal, this DNA damage looks similar to the damage that occurs when a virus hijacks a cell's machinery. So the immune system would naturally think that the damaged DNA means the presence of a disease-causing organism. This would be enough to trigger the immune response, causing inflammation in the body. Inflammation could cause significant harm to the body, and increase in inflammation can even lead to organ failure or death. Now, bats fly regularly, leading to constant damage of DNA in the body, so one would expect an excess of inflammation in its body leading to death. Then by this means, flight should be a deadly activity for bats, isn't it? But that's not the case. Let's see how. A group of Chinese researchers published their study in the Cell Host and Microbe Journal, and that study suggests that through the process of evolution, the bats have found ways to lessen the inflammation. The component of a mammalian body that causes this inflammation is called sting proteins. And the bats have evolved to reduce the effect of sting proteins in their body. So this inflammation now caused is just enough to repair the damaged DNA, but not in excess to lead to the bat's death. Hence, when there is a DNA damage in the body of a bat while flying, the weakened effect of sting proteins does not allow deadly inflammation. Now, as the immune system has adapted to this type of response, so when a virus enters the body of a bat, damaging the DNA, the bat reacts to it in the same manner. Thus, the overdrive of immune response that leads to organ failure is not seen in bats when they host viruses like Nipah, Ebola or coronavirus. But that happens when these viruses transfer to humans. Now, if the strength of the immune response in a bat is reduced due to a reduction in sting protein activity, won't the bats be easily exposed to actual pathogens? Yes, they are exposed to many pathogens. They in fact host a total of 167 viruses in their body. The question that arises now is that if they have so many viruses in their body, then how do they not get sick by them? This is because they have an internal defense mechanism. Mostly the antiviral response in the mammals is activated only when an infection occurs. But in bats, this response is always on. A bat's internal defense mechanism might not necessarily kill all the viruses in its body, but it would be enough to save the bat's body from getting sick. So basically, the viruses enter the bat's body and the immune defense mechanism of the bats saves the bat from getting sick because its antiviral agents are always active, but it might not necessarily kill the virus because the sting protein in bats is weakened. This is why bats carry hundreds of viruses in them and still do not get infected by them. Out of the total viruses present in bats, about 61 are zoonotic viruses, which means that they transfer from animals to humans. All this might seem like portraying bats as villains. But no, bats are very significant for ecological balance on the earth. They control the insect population, pollinate crops, etc. And this is what they have always been doing. But what has now made us humans get infected by the viruses in bats is our close contact with them. And as we expand our cities and gradually move to areas where bats originally lived, the risk of our close contact with the bats increases. And there are areas where bats are eaten, and if a person eats infected bat meat, he directly takes the virus from there. So we need to remember that bats are not spreading the virus to humans, humans are taking the virus from them. You stay tuned to us, keep watching Swaraj.